Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. And as always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Hey, okay, so lately in the news, a big story, one of the big stories in the country is about Coach Prime Deion Sanders taking a job at Colorado University as a head coach. After leading Jackson State, I guess, to 2 SWAC titles and been there for 3 years. And everybody is all in the uproar about him leaving. But, well, our community is all in the uproar about him leaving. A lot of folks trying to call him a sellout. You got people, you had coaches that said he ain't SWAC. They said that during the year. Now they're saying that this validates that statement. You got some preacher, president of HBCU, I don't know his name, said he wanted to see Deion fail because he done sold out, and people say he pimped out Jackson State. Say he left Jackson State for the money, for the white man money. Preaching all that black community and building, and then turn right around and jump ship. But I want to take a different look at this, because a lot of people who are commenting, I feel, have not followed Deion Sanders' career or his whatever personal life that he has allowed us to be a part of or witness. I don't think a lot of people have actually paid attention to this guy. You got to remember who he was. Who he was, who he is. Disclaimer. Deion is probably one of my top 5 NFL players of all times. If I had a top 5, he would be in there. It would be him, Randy Moss, and Bo Jackson. Just because these guys were like superhuman, just freakishly talented. Deion Sanders, what they say, ran a 4.39 in the 40, coming out of a limo without stretching. You seen him play football, baseball. The guy was just ridiculous on the field. Bo Jackson, same thing, just monstrous, talented, strong, fast. Just unbelievable specimen. And Randy Moss, probably the best wide receiver ever. You can argue that he ain't, but even Jerry Rice himself said that if he had the abilities, the physical abilities that Randy Moss had, there would be records out there that would never be broken. So, you can take it what it is. And then for the last 2, you can just debate anybody else. But those 3 would be my top 3. But anyway, I followed Deion Sanders since when he first got to Atlanta, when he got to the San Francisco 49ers, Cowboys. I remember he had a house out here in Texas. Man, he used to pass by like once a week. Huge spread. Nice. You know what I'm saying? So he always been a guy that did it big. He was talented, above talented, a dominated sport. And he'd be quick to tell you how great he was, quick to show you how great he was. But he'd tell you too, he worked hard for what he did, so he would brag about it, gloat. Kind of like Floyd Mayweather before Floyd Mayweather, He talked a lot of trash, but he backed it up. And that's how he was, and that's how he is now. But it's like I said, big house, all that. But what I feel is Coach Prime didn't leave for money. Coach Prime didn't sell out JSU. Coach Prime had a plan. Coach Prime is, let me just say this, Coach Prime is a father first and a coach second, like the title says. And what I mean by that is this whole thing is not about the community. It's not about money. It's not about Colorado. It's about his sons, from my opinion. A lot of people may not agree with that because everybody like controversy. Everybody like being, a lot of people like being victims, want to blame somebody for their failures. You talk about one dude that at JSU brought all kind of sponsors, did a whole lot for the school, for the city itself. Brought notoriety. You had ESPN showing games. at Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like that's been done before, but it's because of who Prime is, Coach Prime is. I mean, if you got it, you do it. I mean, truth be told, you should have had other coaches, maybe athletes, former athletes, popular athletes, you know, join some of these schools and bring the same thing, and you could have built something great with the HBCUs. But back to my point. Like I said, I believe it is for his kids. Because one, Deion is a coach. Started out, you got to think about his coaching career. Started out, from what I recall, he was like one of those AAU no travel team coaches, which a lot of us have done that. I myself was, you know, a coach. I coached, you know, basketball, softball, soccer, you know, and coached my kids. You know what I'm saying? Softball for sure, like travel team. And if I didn't coach the kids, if I didn't coach them directly as being the coach or the manager or what have you, you know, we practice all the time. I take them to practice or whatever. So that's how he started out with his kids. Like I said, AAU basketball, you know, the 7-on-7 football league. This is what he did. Then you gotta remember he opened up his Prime Prep, or co-founded Prime Prep. You look in the history, there's a lot of scandal going on with the stolen laptops, you know, money wasn't done right. They were trying to like buck the system into bringing that team into, he wanted the team to be like a UIL squad like the first year. I mean, it's the school, be a UIL school like the first year. And it don't work that way, at least not down here in Texas. But he tried to buck the system and get it done, find some back channels to do it. It wasn't because he was trying to, you know, he was so, you know, wanted school to hurry up and get whatever, what's the UIL certified, just so for the school. His son's at the school. He wanted to be like a 3A school within like immediately being open, and they would not allow him to do that. But like I say, there was other things behind the scenes that was going on that pretty much got that basically got the school shut down. But like I say, his boys are. He was also, he coached. He coached like at AAA Academy, and then coached at Trinity Christian High School in City Hill. I think it was offensive coordinator or whatever. And who was there? His sons. You know what I'm saying? His sons played at the high school. If they won championship, I think his sons is Shador, I think. He was the one who broke all the records, being a quarterback or what have you. Other son, is it Shiloh? I think it's Shiloh. He played defensive back. You know what I'm saying? He was a real good player, what have you. And, but he was there, guiding their career. Now you might say, Marlon, you're kind of stretching everything. Stretching this a little bit. But let's say it like this. He has his older son, Deion Sr., played at SMU. I think it was a defensive back and a kick returner. This dude, if I recall, broke a record for one day for 203 kick return yards. But he's only 5'7", but still athletic like a sun gun. Deion Sanders complained about his son's playing time at SMU while he was there. And I think eventually, I don't know what happened, but his boy ended up after one game at the end of one season, he wasn't on the roster no more. So Deion is like any other coach that coaches his child. I can remember, coaching my youngin', and it was the rule was to not coach or not directly be involved with your own child. But what you do is, if your child is on your team, you let the assistant coaches deal with them, and if they got kids on the team, you deal with their kids. But no one directly should have a say-so of what their kid does or where their kid plays. And it gets to a point where a lot of times these coaches, they actually, once their kids stop playing, they'll probably either coach, they're probably coaching other team, or they'll coach them over. They'll coach other teams and say, hey, anybody that coaches for me, your child can't be on the same squad, because there becomes a conflict. And I think that this conflict, Deion Sanders is like starting. It's all about, this kind of conflict problem is a part of what I guess is good and negative about this situation. The thing about him is he got the money, he got the resources to do whatever he wants. A lot, most of us don't have that, but he got, he can create a team, and he can provide all the uniforms, the travel expenses, hotels. If he don't pay for it, he know people who will help foot the bill. All of us can't do it. We got to do fundraisers and hoping we can get our team in a Motel 6 if we travel. But then, you got teams that do charge a nice fee for, charge a nice fee to play on these teams, to travel. But again, like I said, he got the resources. So he utilized what he had to make sure that his sons get what they need to succeed. So, like I said, you had, he coached at Trinity Christian High School. His son was a quarterback. Shiloh was a defensive back. Now, remember, Shador was a quarterback, and Deion Sanders stayed at 2020. What happened in 2020? Coach Prime went to JSU. Guess who else went to JSU? Shador and Shiloh. Shador went to, I think he committed to, Florida Athletic. But then when Deion went to JSU, he went there. Shiloh was a defensive back in South Carolina. When Deion went to JSU, he went there. Hell, matter of fact, his daughter, who plays basketball, is at Jackson State right now. I don't know, it'll be interesting to find out if she's going to Colorado too. Because Deion Sanders got that job, he said he's bringing some players with him, at least 10, to Colorado, and that was part of the deal. Interesting, right? But yeah, so his son went to JSU too. Now you gotta think about this. Your son's a star quarterback. Your other son like a star defensive back. But let's say the star quarterback throwing up all these crazy numbers, winning championships and titles, and you hear stories for people saying that if this young man was at one of these top 5 conferences or whatever, the big 5 conferences, if he was at a school there and throwing them kind of numbers, he'd be shooting to be a first, second round draft pick. Hell, might even be a Heisman candidate. So think about it. If they saying that because he's there, because he's not getting recognition because it's an HBCU squad, so what's your next move? It's coach at a major university. Now, I don't know what went behind the scenes. Nobody knows right now of why Deion Sanders chose to leave Jackson State. I think if his sons were not there, I think he probably would stay. If he was really wanted to be a coach of HBCU, I think he would have stayed till his contract was up and then filled it off. And I remember, not too long ago, he was trying to make it seem like he was at JSU and wasn't going to leave. And then more recently, he said that 3 or 4 teams have made him offers that he would consider. And then Colorado is the one that he chooses. And you think, why would he choose Colorado? They got like a 1-11, ain't won nothing in years. Had a head coach got fired mid-season, had an interim coach. But if you're playing chess and not checkers, that's the perfect move. The same reason why you went to Jackson State, which was not a well-known HBCU. Because like I said, he could have went to Howard, he could have went to Tuskegee, he could have went to any major HBCU. Hell, no, I don't know about family, but whatever. He probably could have went to any Probably could have went to any major HBCU he wanted, and probably could have got the head coaching job. But he chose the lowly Jackson State, and in the state of Mississippi, of all places. You know, a school like say wasn't winning, hadn't won nothing, wasn't really known, but he came and created a buzz and made it and turned it into like a powerhouse within 3 years. But really, for someone like him, that's simple. Because again, he has notoriety. He has a history. Hell, he's a Hall of Fame player. So all the kids that he recruit, they parents, like myself, grew up watching and being fans of primetime. So it was easy for him, probably easier for him than any other HBCU coach to recruit players, which made probably a lot of them coaches upset. And it is what it is. But like I said, he turned the whole school around in like 3 years. But he knew he could do it. But he brought his sons, gave his sons, it's like, okay, maybe they're not ready. These major universities don't think my kids are ready for, you know, to play for major teams. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna take them to a school. It's still a college school. Take them to HBCU, somewhere that if I go, I'm gonna get a lot of love from my people. The fans are gonna love us. It's gonna get a lot of hype, a lot of notoriety. I'm gonna get out here and do interviews. I'm gonna do a lot of stuff to where people know about Jackson State, whether they want to or not. And it's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off for my kids. And that's what he did. And his sons, just got the stats and the notoriety that they need. Now, we're getting close to graduation. At least for that oldest boy, or the second oldest, because the oldest boy, he grown. At least for that second oldest boy, or the oldest boy that's on the football squad, the defensive back. Let's bring it to Colorado. Let's find a school that we can do the same thing we did at Jackson State. See if we can't do it in 2 or 3 years. Probably can do it quicker because it's a bigger school and these top recruits are more likely to come to a bigger school because we're gonna be on TV regardless. Whether we win or not, these kids are gonna get exposure because it's a major university. It's gonna be a lot of hype when I show up. So let's go somewhere where I can do the same thing before my sons graduate. Lo and behold, Colorado. Offer them $5 million. They don't have the money, but they say they'll get it, and they probably will. And that's what's kind of sad when you're dealing with HBCU, when you compare the two, because people that went to HBCU, like I said, alumni don't pay money back, or some people say they do pay money back, they do give money back, but the staff and the people on the boards and stuff at these schools are like squandering the money, like these folks go to Washington, D.C. to get money funding, get federal funding, but it never reaches the kids. I said in a previous video how you can, like when they asking for $4 billion for all the HBCUs, if every working Black American person at the age of working, you give $10 per month to one HBCU, to each one, different one, until you reach like 107, which is like, I forgot how many years. But they'll have that $4 billion. I think it was like 8 years. I think it was. And they'll give and they'll have that, because that's how much time they said that Trump was going to promise a $4 billion over 8 years when he was in office. You get the same money if everybody who worked gave $10 to a university, a different HBCU every month for 8 years. The HBCUs would have the $4 billion. Easy. Well, I say really 7, but $10 is just a nice round number. But anyway, like I was saying, I believe, like I said, Deion said did this for his sons. So now you take them to Colorado. They say you can bring whatever players you want. So you're gonna bring your top recruits. So they're gonna be great players. You can got caught. I think it said was Alabama's defensive coordinator, one assistant coach is gonna be a coach at Colorado now. So he's getting coaches, he's getting players. They're gonna make this school. They're gonna do everything he can to make this school great, and to be a winner, all while bringing his children along for the ride so they can get that exposure, so they can get into the NFL. Because that's the plan, because that is the plan no matter what you do. When you start coaching your kids from young ages, playing sports, I don't care who you are. Your goal is for them to play in the pros somewhere, or at least if you got women, girls, for them to get scholarships to college so they can get an education for free, and they can go to whatever school they want to. That's the goal. Period, point blank. You can call it what you want, but it's not. I just want people to understand that it's not far-fetched to think this was his plan. Like I said, it has nothing to do with HBCUs. Yeah, he's there. He's going to do everything he can to build. Then you got to think about this too. If you somewhere trying to help, trying to build in your community, and the car get broken into, now it's one thing if the coach's car get broken into. That's one thing. But when your kids' stuff gets stolen, so your kids in danger, and car gets broken into a few times, and everybody know who your kid's car. Everybody know who the car is. So there's like no respect for you or your family, especially your. They said, look at here. They said that somebody defaced his statue or mural at JSU. Somebody said it wasn't even a student. I'm not surprised. So because of probably the people that's breaking into his kids' cars and stole this stuff are probably not students, but just looking for an opportunity. Just saw opportunity and took it. No respect. There's no respect for what he's doing for the community. Man, you go through that. Why would you want to stay? You know what I'm saying? You probably would take the first thing going. And then too, think about JSU, and they say the facilities, were not great. Like, I think, didn't he have a son? Or was that Master P? Master P. Like, his son went to one school, I think it was HBCU or something, and then he transferred him to a different school because he got hurt or what have you. They didn't have the facilities to heal him properly, to help him heal properly. And a lot of us said, well, hey, man, Master P got the money. He probably could have put the money in to, to put facilities in there or to get the doctors or whatever equipment they need. He probably could, but the thing is, why do we feel that we have to deplete our resources? That if you have something, we're going to deplete all your resources to let somebody else have something, then you have nothing. And then once your resources are gone, the people you gave to, they're going to squander that, and then nobody has nothing. So you got to do like everybody else do. Put money together. Use other people's money. Don't use all your money to try to help people when the majority of them are not going to appreciate it. You see what I'm saying? Everybody is quick to say what you should do with your money. But if you say, hey, are you giving $7 a month to HBCU or $10 a month to an HBCU? It's only 107 schools out there. So 10,000, what's that? That's about a little over $1,000. Are you over 8 years? $1,000 over 8 years is what I'm talking about. Have you done that? When Deion Sanders was at Jackson State, did you get a group of friends and donate money to the school? Now, I ain't saying I did. I'm just saying for people that's complaining about what he's doing. Did you do anything to support the school financially? Forget watching it on TV because you already paying your cable bill. That don't count. Forget buying a hat or a t-shirt. We're talking about like donating money, donating time, donating food, water, hiring, paying for somebody to go up there and motor field, the football field or the grass up there. Did you do any of this? If not, then you really have nothing to complain about. And again, if you haven't followed Deion Sanders' life and career, then you really don't know the dude. All you know is the guy came, famous guy came, built the school up, doing what's known for black people, and then dipped on it. But what they're not harping on is he's taking kids with him. These same kids that were stuck at this school, and I hate to say the word stuck when it comes to our people stuff, but hey, if you ain't doing right by them, what you want me to say? These same kids who were at this school, who probably once they get done playing at Jackson State, they got no chance of playing in the NFL. You got a top recruit. I remember that. He got a top recruit last year. Yeah, that boy, he's supposed to be destined for the NFL. Probably, you know what I'm saying? Probably somewhat mess up his chances to go to the NFL going to Jackson State, but now he's going to Colorado. And so he's going to be in a major school. He's going to be backing. You're going to have big money backing. I mean, like I say, he's taking his kids with him, so how can you be mad? Just recruit somebody else. Recruit somebody else. Show that you appreciated what their brother did by carrying on his legacy and trying to do what he did to bring support and money and notoriety to your HBCU. If you don't do it, then it's not really too much that you can say about. You can't. I feel like you really can't have a comment if you're not putting in on this, as we used to say back in the day. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna say about this story, man. Like I always say, I can go on and on about this. But for those of you who know, man, y'all understand what I'm saying. I mean, y'all understand what I'm saying. Those of you who don't know, do some research. Research his life. Research, you know what I'm saying, Dallas Observer, great paper. Talk about the Prime Prep Academy and what it went through. You know, research the schools that he coached. Research where his kids went to school at, from his oldest son down to his youngest boy, even his daughter now. The one that's playing college ball. Like I said, I wonder if she's gonna go to Colorado. That'd be interesting. But again, he's doing, I feel, for the last time, he's doing what he needs to do to put his family in the best position to win, which is what everybody should do. Because the old saying goes, even in the scriptures, especially in the scriptures, basically, you have to start, charity starts at home, whatever, you have to start at home. You know what I'm saying? You can't throw stones when you live in a glass house, something like that. But anyway, you got to start at home. You got to be at home first, make sure home is right. If everybody made sure their home, just think about it. Everybody made sure that their home was right without hurting nobody, without doing harm to anybody, just helping your family and maybe helping other people in the process. Can you imagine how this world would be? Imagine how this world would be if everybody did what Prime did, Coach Prime did, and do what's best for their kids. Shit, I done it. I done it, and I'm all for, you know what I'm saying, the Black American community. Like a son done, been like that forever. And will always be for that and do for that. But family comes first. Family comes first, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make sure that my children are taken care of first before I can take care of the rest of the world. Fully. You feel what I'm saying? So, not saying that I won't help other people. Like I say, Coach Prime was taking other kids with him to Colorado and told them players in Colorado, y'all better get on that portal, on that transfer portal, because I'm bringing players, and some of y'all ain't gonna have a job. Remember, and what got me to think of this whole thing was that he's in the press conference, he slipped up and said, he introduced the people he was bringing, introduced coaches, the people that was with him, his son, who was doing a documentary, and then he introduced his son, his door, and told him to stand up, and he slipped up and said, "This is your quarterback." But then turned around and said, "Well, but it's not like he got a lot of work. He got to earn it. He got to earn it." But that right there showed you what his intention was. Bringing his son, because again, if it was only about coaching, he wouldn't even bring his kids with him. He wouldn't. He would just go coach his kids to play over there. He go coach over here, and that just be it. But no, he's trying to, like I say, put his kids in the best position to succeed. I can't knock a brother for that. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace. And I'll see you on the other side.